might not go away completely. And if they hold on to it, that don't mean that you have to. You can be better than this. You can be better. I want you to try and set a fine example for your mom. Be nice and kind. And just give everybody unconditional love. Okay?
Even though I said okay, I was not buying my mama's explanation. I knew that if we had been white, we would never have been treated like criminals. And this little 10-year-old girl remained angry at the whole world for the way things were back then in Sanford. Back before things began to change. As I grew older, things did change here in Sanford. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, new faces of a different color showed up in my classroom, and I was not having it.
I was born and raised here in Sanford. When I started school, I didn't pay much attention to the color of anyone's skin. My first grade class at Southside had a sprinkling of every kind of folk we had in town. Didn't matter to me. I just liked school. And my first few years went along real great. I had the same friends in my class year after year. And then it happened. Out of nowhere, one year my mother said,
"You're going to go to a new school in a different part of town."
it's what my parents and aunts and uncles called the other side of town. They didn't think I heard them, and they talked about it in hushed tones when we all get together. And I was supposed to be playing with my cousins, but I heard what they said, and I didn't know what to believe. When you're a kid, you trust your parents and elders. They're supposed to teach you how to be a good person and such. And usually, we take on the beliefs of our folks. It's called tradition. But when I found out that my brother, my sister, and I were all going to a new school, I was, well, let's just put it mildly and say, I was upset.
But what about my friends in the first place?
Oh, well, some of your friends will be with you at the new school, but the rest of the kids live in the area, and they'll stay at Southside.
How could this be? How could they just make a new rule, make us go to a new school, and have to find all new friends? We hadn't moved. We weren't in the military where you're expected to start over every few years, and you never really make any good friends, and then the goodbyes won't hurt. I never even got a chance to say goodbye to any of my friends. It happened all so fast. You're at a new school, and I was mad and afraid, oh, and sad.
and her skin color, there really is no difference. So now you just need to sit there at your desk and think about that.
So I sat there and I thought about it.
And I